What's up, YouTube? How's it going? Chris here. Every week, probably about twice a week, I go to a restaurant called Dig Inn, and I freaking love it. It is delicious. Now, when I went, the server asked me this question. She said, do you want protein with that? When she asked the question, do you want protein with that? What she really means is, do you want meat or chicken or tofu with your bowl of veggies that you have? And I have two problems with this, and I wrote this email to the company, and they replied. And I'm gonna share that with you in this video and let you know what happens. So the subtext of the question, like, do you want protein with that, is that, well, if you say no, you're not getting enough protein, but that is false because the vegetables do have quite a bit of protein. Okay, and I know that sounds a little bit nitpicky, but Dig Inn serves tens of thousands of people, maybe every day. They serve a lot of people, and they have an amazing opportunity to educate, right? These big companies that surround us, the Walmarts, the McDonald's, one little change on their menu can serve and educate and just change the way that we think and talk about food, and then maybe influence our actions. The second consequence and problem with saying, do you want a protein with that, and the protein meaning an animal's life, is that it really reduces an animal's life to a nutrient and further removes me from the food I'm eating. I'm no longer just eating a cow or meat, I'm eating a protein. And by eating a protein, I'm taking no responsibility or having no just like understanding of what I'm even eating at that point. And I think that that's a shame, because the further we get away from our food sources, the less we know about it, the less we know about nutrition, and really it becomes easier to mistrust or to put things into our food that are shitty and to cause harm to our bodies. And that really concerns me. So I requested from Dig Inn, instead of saying, would you like a protein with that, could you instead say, would you like meat, chicken, or tofu? Just to get us a little bit closer to what we're actually talking about. Amazingly, to my surprise, they wrote back, and not only that, they wrote this entire blog post detailing their thoughts on the subject. And I think it's amazing. It's definitely worth a read. I'll just start it off here. It's just basically talking about the email that I wrote them, where it says, recently one of our guests tweeted something way heavier than the usual complaint about the forgotten lemon wedge. Chris Castiglione called us out on the way our servers ask, would you like a protein with that? Really cool. They go into talking a little bit about how animal agriculture is a complicated topic, and that is definitely true. It is one of the leading contributors to climate change, as that is also true. As we know, today's quantities of livestock emit heaps of nasty toxic emission. There's some great links here you can read. And just kind of jutting down to the bottom, the big takeaway and reveal is that they are going to change, they agree, and are going to change in all of their stores the way that they speak about meat, chicken, and tofu. Instead of saying, would you like a protein, getting a little bit closer to what we're actually talking about, which is, would you like meat, fish, or tofu with your meal? And they put this line in here, which I really love. It all boils down to this: if we all start changing the way we talk about food, chances are the way we consume it will change too. And I think that's really powerful and a very mindful way to think about the food that we are creating and serving each other. And I just want to say, well done, Dig Inn. Maybe this will change. I know that Chipotle, I know a few other places out there, they also refer to meat as a protein. I know that in our daily dialogue, we have that habit of saying hey, I just worked out, did you get your protein? And I think it's just important to think more clearly about the language we're using and the abstractions that, are we referring to an animal's life? Are we referring to a meal? Are we referring to a vegetable? What are we specifically referring to? And I think it will all help us be a little more healthy in the mind and in the body. And I think that's amazing. So let me know what you think. Is there anyone out there that you could write a letter to? Are there any thoughts that you have that you're passionate about as far as educating people more about the food, the way we talk about it, and what we put in our body? That's what I've been thinking about. What have you been thinking about? Write it down in the comments, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for listening. My name's Chris.